Have you ever found yourself, replaying a conversation maybe a dozen times, picking apart every single word, every little nuance, long after it's actually over?
Oh, for sure. Or maybe staring at that massive to-do list, feeling just completely overwhelmed.
But not actually doing anything, right? Just kind of circling the drain of possibilities.
Exactly. That's that insidious grip of overthinking we're talking about. It's a feeling I think many of us know really well.
Yeah, it really is. So today we're taking a deep dive into Nick Trenton's highly practical guide, Stop Overthinking.
It's a book specifically designed to help us break free from those really exhausting, unproductive thought patterns,
And Trenton, he comes at this with a background in economics and behavioral psychology.
which gives it a really fresh, actionable perspective on what feels like such a common problem.
Totally. So our mission today is, well, to unpack this guide
Yeah, not just summarize it, but really pull out the core principles, the things that actually shift your perspective.
and equip you with, actionable, ready-to-use techniques.
Right. The goal is to quiet your mind, basically, and move forward with, hopefully, greater clarity and purpose.
Think of it as a shortcut, maybe, to getting highly applicable knowledge you can use, like today. Okay, so let's unpack this right from the beginning. We throw around this term overthinking all the time.
We do.
But the book makes a really important clarification. It's not just thinking a lot.
Right. Sometimes thinking a lot is absolutely crucial, for problem solving.
Exactly. The insight here is the distinction. Overthinking is about being stuck in loops of thought that just don't lead anywhere. No real answers.
Like that mental hamster wheel, right? Just spinning and spinning.
But taking you nowhere.
Yeah. And this deep dive really matters to you because this book, it doesn't just theorize. It offers what it calls a comprehensive solution to overthinking and its associated anxieties.
So the goal is helping you achieve greater potential and overall well-being.
Right. It's about giving you tangible tools to improve your mental state, reduce stress, and, yeah, ultimately boost your productivity.
But without feeling buried under like an avalanche of just information.
It's about thinking smarter, really. Disengaging from those unproductive loops.
I really like that distinction. It's not about becoming thoughtless.
No, not at all.
But about becoming effective with your thoughts. And to help visualize this, the book uses a pretty powerful analogy, the overthinking maze.
Oh, yeah, that metaphor of getting lost in a maze, it really resonates.
Doesn't it?
It vividly describes those seemingly never-ending loops of anxious thoughts and dead ends.
Where you keep analyzing, worrying, second-guessing.
But never actually find your way out. It's just mentally draining, an exhausting, fruitless journey.
It is absolutely exhausting. And this brings up a big question. Why? Why do we get caught in this maze?
Good question.
The sources suggest it could be a mix, nature or nurture. Some people might just be predisposed.
Or environmental factors play a big role.
Right. But a really crucial insight, and one that kind of shifts how you look at it, is that we often react to perceived stress rather than actual stress.
That's a profound point. That difference between perceived and actual stress.
Yeah.
So if all stress is, to some extent, a perception by our brains, how does the book help us tell the difference between a genuine threat that needs attention and our minds just, manufacturing drama, getting stuck in that perceived stress loop?
Well, the book argues it's about identifying the lack of resolution. If your thoughts are just circling, not moving towards a solution or even acceptance.
Wow.
It's likely perceived stress, and that perceived stress, it shows up in very real, very detrimental ways.
Right. Overthinkers often experience serious physical and mental consequences.
Yeah, we're talking chronic fatigue, heightened anxiety that can feel like this constant background hum.
Difficulty sleeping, even when you feel completely drained.
Totally. And in the worst cases, the book actually states it can even destroy lives and relationships.
Wow.
By isolating you or just paralyzing you from taking any action.
That's a powerful warning. But importantly, it's also a call to action. Because the good news is the book makes it really clear. With the right strategies and techniques, you can take control of your thoughts.
Okay, so how? Where does it start?
It all starts with that foundational step. Recognizing overthinking for what it is, those unproductive loops, and then diligently understanding your personal triggers.
Right. building that self-awareness, being mindful of your experiences, asking yourself those probing questions.
Like, what situations tend to kick off these spirals for you?
What expectations are you holding on to? Are they maybe unrealistic?
Or what underlying feelings are driving this constant analysis?
It's about taking that first step, challenging those anxious thoughts with some clarity.
And ultimately moving towards a more positive mental space.
Yeah.
The path to control definitely begins with self-awareness.
And with practice, you really can learn to trust yourself more, break that habit.
You can challenge those anxious thoughts with clarity, with empathy, creating a better mental space around them.
Okay, so here's where it gets really interesting. Because the book gives us practical methods, a genuine toolkit, really, to stop the spiral.
Yeah, it provides simple but actually quite potent strategies, like the 4 A's for influencing your worldview.
The 4 A's, okay, like
Yeah.
a quick mental framework.
Exactly, for navigating stressful situations.
Yeah.
The first A is avoid.
Avoid. Now, that sounds maybe a bit like running away. I think some people feel a little guilty about avoiding things.
That's a fair point. But it's not about running from all your problems. It's about recognizing situations or even people that consistently trigger your overthinking.
Ah,
And consciously choosing to walk away from stressful situations or avoiding them altogether.
Yeah.
It's actually a powerful act of self-preservation.
okay, I see. So, like, if an acquaintance always makes you anxious, maybe limit contact.
Precisely. Or find ways to manage those interactions better. Or if loud noises are a trigger for you, actively seek out quieter spaces.
It's about setting healthy boundaries then.
Yes. And the book reassures us, saying no is justified. You're honoring your needs, not shirking responsibility.
That's a helpful reframe. Okay, so that's avoid. What comes next?
Well, beyond avoid, the framework includes alter, accept, and adapt.
Alter, accept, adapt.
And they're not just separate options. Think of it like a mental decision tree.
Right.
Once you figure out you can't avoid something, you ask, can I alter it? Change parts of it to make it less stressful?
Mm-hmm.
If not, can I accept what I can't change, acknowledge the reality, without judgment?
Okay.
And finally, if you can't alter or accept, how can I adapt my own internal response?
So it empowers you to consciously choose your response.
Exactly. Turns a passive reaction into an active, strategic approach to stress.
That completely reframes it, turns you from a victim into a strategist. Love that.
Yeah.
But even with the best coping strategies, life happens, right? Curveballs get thrown, and our internal dialogue can still get tangled up. And often that's where that feeling of disorganization comes in, making stress feel kind of inevitable, especially with a packed schedule.
Which is where the book brings in something more structured. Effective time management.
Not just as a productivity hack, though.
No, crucially as a tool against overthinking. If we connect this to the bigger picture, good time management isn't just about getting more done.
It's about reducing the breeding ground for overthinking.
Exactly, by creating structure and clarity. The book introduces the SMART framework, making sure your goals are specific,
Measurable?
achievable, relevant, and time-bound.
Yeah. Okay, so this isn't just scheduling appointments.
No, it's about giving your mind clear, bounded tasks instead of this infinite, vague to-do list that just looms over you.
Bounded tasks. That sounds like a mental sigh of relief already.
It dramatically cuts down on decision fatigue and that anxiety of the unknown, big fuels for overthinking.
The book suggests you can achieve near-peak productivity with just a few simple changes, and SMART is a cornerstone. But sometimes, you need a quick fix. Beyond frameworks or time management, when your mind is just racing.
And you need to de-escalate, like, right now.
Yeah. The book highlights having a mix of techniques, like combining visualization with progressive muscle relaxation, PMR.
Yes, PMR. It's a really powerful duo for when you need to de-stress fast.
How does PMR work exactly?
Well, it involves systematically tensing and then relaxing different muscle groups. You might start with your feet, clench them tight for a few seconds,
Okay.
then completely release the tension. Really notice the difference. Then move up calves, thighs, abdomen, arms, face. It's a very direct way to release physical tension.
Which often goes hand in hand with mental stress.
Exactly. And when you combine it with visualization.
Right. So close your eyes, deep breaths, focus on a positive mental image, like a relaxing beach or a forest hike.
But crucially, and this makes it way more effective, the book says to add sound, touch, taste, and smell to the mix.
Oh, interesting. So really immerse yourself.
Yeah. Imagine the warmth of the sun, smell the pine or the salt air, hear the waves or birdsong. maybe even taste fresh water.
It pulls you completely into that calming space, makes it harder for anxious thoughts to butt in.
Precisely.
Okay, so we've talked managing external stuff, immediate anxiety, but what about the deeper things? Those ingrained thought patterns, the dusty attics of our minds full of junk.
Yeah, the stuff that feels really baked in. For that, the book suggests a really powerful evidence-based method, cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT.
CBT. Okay.
Right.
How does that fit in?
Well, it's presented as a way to fundamentally stop that automated thinking, to raise your self-awareness and expose the limiting beliefs that hold you back.
So it helps you see your mind's autopilot settings.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Its brilliance is in systematically deconstructing those settings, showing you that your thoughts aren't necessarily facts,
Wow, okay.
and giving you the blueprint to actively reprogram your mental responses. Yeah. It's super effective for managing things like low self-esteem, self-judgment, self-doubt.
Like giving your mind a structured makeover.
That's a good way to put it. And a big part of that is recognizing what the book calls cognitive distortions.
Cognitive distortions, those negative, often irrational thought patterns.
Yes, the ones that lead
Oh.
to unhelpful behavior. The book highlights several common ones.
Like what? What are the traps?
Well, there are false beliefs, accepting things as true with no real evidence, absolutist attitudes, seeing everything in black and white, no gray areas,
Mm-hmm.
overgeneralization, taking one bad thing and assuming everything will be bad,
Mm-hmm.
and exaggeration, blowing minor issues way out of proportion.
Okay, I can definitely recognize some of those.
And the book reminds us, everyone falls into these traps sometimes. It's just how our brains try to make sense of things, often incorrectly.
Right. But the good news is, while they're common,
The book makes it clear there are techniques to help us manage them effectively and reduce their impact. CBT gives you that robust framework.
to challenge and reframe them, helping you navigate tough situations with more clarity, more emotional resilience.
Exactly. CBT equips you to question those automatic thoughts. Like, when you catch yourself overgeneralizing, you pause and ask, is this really true every time?
Or am I letting one bad experience paint the whole picture?
Precisely. That active questioning is key to breaking free.
Speaking of clarity, and maybe quick fixes for really intense moments, have you ever felt that, like, familiar tightness in your chest?
Oh, yeah.
A million replays running in your head, breath getting faster. That's anxiety, right?
It is. And it's surprisingly common, but yeah, many people don't really know how to deal with it in the moment.
Right. So while CBT helps with the roots over time,
There are definitely times you need an immediate intervention
hmm,
for that emotional overload.
and that's where the 5-4-3-2-1 grounding technique comes in.
All right, exactly. It's described as a truly valuable tool and a quick fix. Provides a playful distraction to reduce stress and anxiety and help manage intense emotions.
Okay, playful distraction, I like that. How does it actually work? What are the steps?
It's beautifully simple, really. You just engage all your senses. Start by identifying 5 things you can see around you. Really look.
Okay, 5 things I see.
Then 4 things you can physically feel.
Yeah.
Texture of your clothes, the chair, the air.
4 things I feel. Got it.
Next, 3 things you can hear. Distant traffic, your own breathing, a clock ticking.
3 sounds. Uh-huh.
Then 2 things you can smell. Maybe coffee, a plant, anything.
2 smells. Okay.
And finally, 1 thing you can taste. Even if it's just the lingering taste in your mouth or taking a sip of water.
Wow. 5-4-3-2-1. Senses.
It's this rapid sensory anchor, a powerful circuit breaker that derails those runaway thoughts by forcing your attention right back here, right now.
That sounds incredibly practical, something anyone can do anywhere, anytime. So
Mhm.
bringing all these different threads together, what's the sort of overarching message here about the value of stop overthinking?
Well, I think a key takeaway is how the book really emphasizes that true, lasting change comes from a comprehensive approach.
Right? It's not just one magic bullet.
No. It addresses both the why behind overthinking the root causes, the cognitive distortions, and gives you a practical toolkit for the how, those immediate anxiety reduction methods.
It combines the science with really actionable strategies.
Yeah, ensuring it's not just theory, but about direct application in your life.
So this deep dive, then, it offers you not just understanding, but actual weapons, really, in that fight against relentless thought loops.
Yeah, it's about empowering you to break free from the shackles of overthinking.
To live a more present and fulfilling life and genuinely declutter your mind.
You really can learn to trust yourself more and break this ingrained habit.
Okay, so to recap our deep dive into Nick Trenton's Stop Overthinking. We've learned overthinking isn't just thinking a lot.
It's getting stuck in those unproductive loops, that mental maze.
But crucially, it is a controllable habit. We've looked at the dangers, but more importantly, we've armed you with a whole toolkit.
From the 4 A's, avoid, alter, accept, adapt for consciously influencing your worldview.
To the clarity-creating smart checklist for time management.
Quick, calming techniques like visualization combined with PMR.
The mind rewiring principles of CBT to challenge those cognitive distortions.
And finally, that immediate relief from the 5-4-3-2-1 grounding technique.
The book reminds us, look, you can't avoid all of life's uncertainties. That's impossible.
But you can manage them better by shifting your attitude, your perspective.
By actively engaging with your thoughts instead of just being passively consumed by them.
So maybe consider this as you move forward. If true overthinking isn't just thinking a lot, but getting stuck in loops that yield no real answers, what single loop are you ready to interrupt today and transform it into a purposeful path forward?